Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you've been enjoying the Ultimate World War III um, Battle Royal, 60-man Battle Royal parts. We got part 4 coming up very shortly. I'm posting this before that, which I already did that long ago. But I decided to post a video just to kind of give a heads up. First off, thank you to the now almost 8 more new subscribers. I think last I checked we were at like 26. Now we're at 36, so 10, excuse me. And you know, growing this channel just for fun. Hopefully enjoy it. I got some custom figures down the pipeline. In fact, I'm actually building a ultimate Mr. Perfect figure using the Superstar singlet with a non-finished Scott Hall. It's the closest I can find to the skin tone. Obviously, I'll switch the boots and the arms, and we'll see how it looks. Hopefully, it looks decent. Um, Obviously, I'm not a big fan of the drop-down hips, but I think the Razors do have drop-down hips, so it is what it is. But I decided, what the heck? Since it's going to take longer than I thought, at least it's been taking longer. I haven't really heard from my customizer as far as like getting me shipped stuff right away. Of course, he has lots of orders. I understand that. So I decided to kind of let you in on the sneak peek of what's been prepaid, what I've already paid all the way through, what I've partially paid. There's a $70 starting commission fee to start people up in the line. And then there's just people who are in the line because I haven't decided on what attire yet to go with. And so I'm just going to kind of post two pictures, I think, the ones I kind of want to see, and see if anyone wants to comment and say which one would you want. So let's begin. So first things first, he did send me this picture. This is finished, hasn't arrived yet. Jerry Lynn, I think this is his first ever Jerry Lynn figure that he's attempted. He did do a ECW in black trunks with uh, the white stripes on the sides. I wanted more of an actual like almost Ring of Honor, indie house show kind of Jerry Lynn. Maybe even not light heavyweight championship attire, but definitely something that was be more generic for him. And Roman Reigns' head is an interesting choice, but at the same time, he does have kind of crazy hair. He does have a deeper voice. Um, it works. I think it works. I mean, compared to the only offerings we have, which were a really horrible ECW San Francisco toy maker version, and of course that FTC figure, which I still have, but I didn't feel like it looked like a face. So this will work. Again, not everything is gonna be 100%. I like it, so I can't wait for that one to arrive. He's supposed to ship this one off with a Ultimate Edition Lex Luger that I sent to him to have redone into a Mason Ryan, but then I got cold feet and decided against it because the other Luger I got didn't match up really well, so I want to bring that WCW one back. And also, I sent off a Ultimate Sting to be kind of touched up and painted on because pink was showing through. It was clear they used a Bret Hart body. And it was also kind of starting to break apart, so I used some glue real fast, quick thinking, without damaging it. During one of the reviews, it actually started to break on me, and was able to salvage it, and now he's just painting over all the little splotches. So hopefully that stuff shows up soon. No word yet if he's waiting for another one. He told me another one should be done soon, but he hasn't sent me photos yet. So from here on out, these are just, if you see the green check, means they are prepaid. They're paid off entirely, completely paid off. Then you see the red X will either be partially paid, in other words, I've started the commission fee, or I haven't started at all. So, and these are just concepts. I'm basically going to show pictures of what it was I requested, what it is that will be coming down the pipeline, and what to expect in the future. I do plan to do a 31 days December custom showing of all the custom figures. If they arrive in time, if I have 31, I'm getting closer. There's some that aren't even commissioned by him that I found on eBay, so I'll probably be adding those in as well as fillers. Spoiler alert, I plan to remake, or not personally make them, but I plan to upgrade, if you will, almost all the Jack specific figures. And eliminate the need for the TNA Toy Biz figures, even the WCW Toy Biz figures that didn't have action figures. I plan to update those to elites. Why am I doing this? I guess I'm a madman, but here we go. So Chris Canyon, and originally it was going to be a custom, entirely designed attire. He did message me and said, hey, I really like to do this attire. What do you think of us doing this one? I said, you know what? I'll go with it. I saw your other Canyon works. They looked fine. Um, let's go with, kind of at the peak of his career as far as WWE was concerned. He was a United States and a tag team champion. He, of course, would lose the belts on this night, but we're not here to discuss his wrestling history. And I liked it. It was like a goldish silver with a maroonish red color, so I'm waiting to see. Supposedly he's done the body of it. The head has not arrived yet. Said he did alter the head a little bit, or he found another customizer really good with heads to make that head better. So can't wait for that one. That's actually the first one I pre-played entirely before Jerry Lynn and before even the other ones are coming up. So it's still not here yet. He says it's going to be the longest. It's going to take a little longer. That's fine. I don't mind it. Let's move on though. Shannon Moore. Now I sent him a picture of this one time, looking at the Billy Kidman figure, or Billy Kidman as an attire choice, and he goes, "Man, that is a sick attire. I'd love to do that." So why not? The only Shannon Moore that I've ever had was the Ruthless Aggression, like RA.15.5, and it was this punk rock. It wasn't really, it was decent, but it was not very. I mean, they didn't really care. He was on his way out the door, if anything. So why not see if he can do really good with this? I saw him do a Shannon Moore with a 3 count before. Obviously, I said, add this tattoo in. Give him a little bit more. It doesn't be all tatted out. It doesn't be punk rocker Shannon Moore, but this attire would be cool for the cruiserweight division. He said, "Well, do you want that Billy Kidman?" And I said, "No." Sorry, someone's here. I said, "No. We're gonna keep looking at the Billy Kidman attires." Oops. Next. There we go. Now I sent him a picture of this Steve Corino and said, "Hey, can you do a Steve Corino?" He sent me back a few photos of Corinos he's done in the past. This was not one of his. But he said, well, there's no cowboy boots. I said, that's fine. I don't need the cowboy boots. I'll be okay with black boots. I think he's worn black boots before. We never, the only Steve Corino we got with the old school one from beginning steps to the toy makers. So if I can eliminate that limited line of only like 4 guys that have never had figures in any other form, then why not? Because I don't have to worry about it. It'd be cool to kind of add them as elites. So this is the attire I'm looking for. As you can see, this is pretty much what someone else has done. This is the whole overall package. Although I did say on the back I'd like to see it say King of Old School. So hopefully that will be coming down the pipeline very shortly. He was the 3rd person I completely paid off. That made. Then we decided to go with something he's never done before and never had a figure, and that's Vito. Vito's never gotten a figure, and I remember playing SVR 07. I remember, in this GM mode, using Vito as a cruiserweight champion. I remember, having Nunzio and whatnot. I did get a custom Tony Mamaluke. Vito was with Nunzio at one point in a little tag team, and I thought, what? Why not get somebody who's never been done before? And I was like, okay, here's the overall look I want, but I want it in this trunks. And at first I thought, well, is this only a Robert SmackDown 2007 look? No, he wore it in real life, and there it is right there. If of course, if he decides to go with, if he wants to go with a different color scheme, because it does look very similar to another figure I will be having created as well in the future. So let's take a look at what's coming down next. Chris Harris. Now, I was scrolling through his catalog. I saw Chris Harris and a James Storm that were reminiscent of the America's Most Wanted 2-pack from the TNA Marvel Day or Toy Biz Day, whatever the company was. And I thought, that's cool. I don't really want those like that, though. I instead want Chris Harris, and I was scrolling through the attires, and I was like, I don't want Braden Walker, that's for damn sure. But this attire just kind of was cool. I thought that was really cool. You got a cool decal. I think on the front it says Wildcat. Got the skull and the flames. I told him too, I was like, can you do the knee pads and the elbow pads like this and the white boots? He said, oh yeah, of course. I haven't gotten to James Storm yet. He's on the list. Not in today's list. I mean, he's in the hat, if you will. I draw randomly. I've actually been drawing randomly names out of hats when it comes time to decide to put $70 down for a commissioned figure and then pay the rest of it once I see the finished prototype. At least that's what I'm going to be doing from now on, because I'm already about 10, 15 figures prepaid all the way through. So I trust the guy. I don't think he's going to burn me. I always use PayPal. Don't send us to get friends and family, because then you can't get your money back, just in case. I'm not saying he would do that to me. If I thought he would, I wouldn't be doing this. Then I saw that he did a Wrath, and it was like a bluish gold. And I remember back when I was younger having the white, uh, kind of gold, black Wrath. And his figure that he had done previously was so clean looking. I said, man, I really want that. Except for, can I get it in this color? I want his Halloween Havoc 98 look. Reminds me of back when I had the WCW Wrath figure. I remember finding it randomly out there. I didn't like how the arms were, the hands were molded a certain way, so it looked really awkward. He could do the meltdown, but if you put his hand forward up the whole time, it just looked weird. So getting a Wrath figure, I know that the only thing we ever get of Adam Bomb was Jack Pacific, and then we got him in this new BCA retro kind of line look, but no Wrath. And I was like, yeah, I feel like Wrath would be, it sounds cooler than Adam Bomb to me. So hopefully that's going to be another one that's, again, already paid off. I think he's used the same formula he used for building the last one, which looked great, except for the color scheme. I wanted a little different. Then I said, okay, you're going to hate me on this one. And we've, negotiated. He was like, oh, he's dreading it. But he told me that, he will get around to making the Perry Saturn I want, which is, I told him, get these tattoos. It's probably easier to do something like this than it is to do something like this over here with all the little mini tattoos individualized. Of course, keep the Saturn, add the dragon tail, coming through the kidneys. Don't do the face tattoo. I know he has one nowadays. But take this portion, top half, and put it onto this wrestling attire. And it's kind of like a black and white and red Saturn look. I want to say it's more of his WCW, look, which is also his early WWF look, I think. And I decided, he's somebody who also I feel like, deserved more than one figure. Two, I know he got two in WCW. I know he got, he got one WCW, he got one WWF. I always felt like they should have done more with him, but of course he vanished off the face of the earth for a while. So I can't wait to see what that one looks like. I told him take your time with that one. I know that one's got a lot of decal. So even though I've paid it off, if it doesn't show up till way later, I understand. Work on the easier ones, work on the ones you really want to work on, but just don't let these ones just disappear or forget about them. I'll keep reminding you. Then I wanted Al Snow. I decided Al Snow would be kind of cool. The only one we've ever gotten is always the Help Me Job Squad attire. The only time we had this kind of attire was his bone crunching action figure in like late 2000s, right before they started altering to the Titantron Live figures. He did get a Titantron Live figure just as like a gym workout gear attire, which was kind of criminal because he had such cool looking attires. So I said, can you make Al Snow long hair, white wrist tape, and can you add in the whole cracking, looks like ice is breaking. I think there's some evil eyes on the side. I think it says Snowman Cometh on the back or something like that. And he's like, oh yeah, definitely. I think he's excited to work on some of these because he's never been given chances to work on these kind of ones. So I'm hoping he enjoys it. I'm hoping I'm gonna enjoy it too. I can't wait to see it further down the line. Then S.A. Rios, again, another guy who never got a figure, and I recall him wearing this attire in person. I know it was in the video game. I especially used it when I played season mode sometimes, and I randomly drew a random character and got S.A. But I saw him. He's done 3 other ones for other people. Pretty much switched the head. They had the same look. It was more of a dragon yellowish look. I said, "Can you do this one?" And he was like, "Oh, that's a new one. That's exciting." So looking forward to that one as well. Again, somebody who never got an action figure. You're going to see is kind of a toss-up between people who don't have ever had action figures or someone who I'm just trying to update from the Jack specific days. But S.A. Rios, can't wait for that one as well. Look forward to that. Then, again, I drew the name out of the hat and I got Rene Dupree. And I thought about it the longest time and I was like, you know what? Why not? He's not super difficult to make. Obviously, it's going to be more of his action figure look from when he was 2-packed with Kenzo Suzuki. This is pretty much the overall appearance, the look I'm going for it. Yeah, it's not super sophisticated. Yeah, it's not super colorful, but it's a cool figure nonetheless. Of course, I'm going to be adding more and more people. So, and the Ruthless Aggression era was kind of my, I want to say teenage years more or less, because the Attitude era was more of my preteen stuff, and then it went to the Ruthless Aggression era, which is like my teen into like early adulthood, even when I started doing pro wrestling. So he was kind of like, you want a Rene Dupree in that tire? That's it. I was like, no purple. You don't want, his French flag look. I was like, nah, let's do this one. No Fifi though. Don't include Fifi. Now I've commissioned it because I saw how well he did with an Ultimate Edition of this. So I dropped in the $70. Said, dude, whenever you want to get around to making that one, I'm all ears for it. Obviously you don't do the LOD, spike pads, but Ahmed Johnson, another guy who, yeah, I know his career didn't last very long, and but he was the first ever Black Intercontinental Champion. He was at one time a really cool. I remember his music was awesome, the look was awesome. Yeah, he had a lot of leg problems, a lot of problems with his body. He was, crazy at first, but he just kept getting injured too much. So I can't wait for that Ultimate to add it to the Ultimate shelf. I was looking at his Elite before, and his Elites were good, but they all look like kind of like Ezekiel Jackson. And then I saw the one in the Ultimate. I was like, that's the one right there. So I literally have said, hey, remake number 6 of your Ahmed Johnson category or catalog. Then Billy Kidman, and I chose this attire. I do believe on the back it does say Kidman, so I told him that make sure it says Kidman. We haven't really even gotten into that one because there's so many to still work on, but I did commission him to start on that one as well when he gets a chance. And I'm doing this because if I was to save the money and buy them all at once, it would just take too much time. So we're spreading it out over a while. But it's his WrestleMania 20 attire. I think it's clean. It's all the white appearance. It's got to be short-haired, though. I'm not the WCW fan of Kidman. I was more of his cruiserweight WWE concept anyway. So I liked the entrance music. I thought DMX was pretty awesome. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. But obviously, it fit for Kidman, I guess. Better than his other music. So yeah, clean white attire. It's like a bluish kind of gold teal look to it. I even said that if we want to go a little different, do red. We could do red if need be. But we'll get to that when it comes to it. It comes time to it. Then Orlando Jordan. I saw he did Orlando Jordan. He did a really good Orlando Jordan with the current hairstyle like this, not just a bald look. But I wanted to go a little bit more into his like prime United States title, kind of run, which is more of this attire right here, which is black going to the red and the white, and it swoops around, and basically it becomes red with black and white. Very unique look. The knee pads, of course, are going to be red, I think it is, from what the picture was, because the back's red, and the boots are kind of just, I do believe they're just red or black with like red accent. I have some other photos I sent to him, but again, we're working on it. But I told him, I was like, yeah, he's got the tattoos down perfectly. He's really good at, I don't know how he does it, because I've seen people make figures before, and I've seen people like write stuff, but it's always kind of splotchy or a little bit crooked. He's really good on being on point with this stuff. And then I decided Taz would be kind of cool, and I wanted Taz from basically Royal Rumble 2000. I said the only thing he's done some Taz's, they all look good, except for they're all FTW in the back, and I wanted his 13 with the little emblem right here. And so I sent him a picture of this to show and said put this on the back of him. And then I found a picture later on. I was looking through Crash Holly photos, and I found it. I was like, just like that. And I was like, just make the boots just like that. He's good with height comparison. He made a Snitsky that was really, Snitsky height based on action figure form. So he's really good with taking in consideration for that. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. And of course, these ones currently are all are commissioned. They've all had their starting fee paid. So Crash Holly. This is the one that kind of came up with. It looks almost like the same as the Vito attire. And it is for the most part. I did like it. It was 2000s Crash Holly. I made sure to tell him make sure to get that little black sock painted between the knee pad and the boot. because I want it to really look authentic as best as possible. Another guy who should have a figure but doesn't. This is when he won the European title. Obviously, Regal's in the back pissed. So he's another one that I just randomly. I didn't draw it out of the hat. I just, for some reason, I was looking at the Crash Holly figure. The only Crash Holly figure we've ever had that weird, arm contortion where he can put his fingers up to his chin and do the smirk. But you can't. He's not playable. You can't really do anything with him because the arm is so weird and awkward shaped. It never, I don't know why they did it to him. I understand they wanted to pose, but for kids who played with wrestling figures back in the day, he only had a one-arm Crash Holly. It was painful. And then Mark Jindrak, I scoured through a lot of Jindrak attires. Of course, I have his gold and like purplish attire from his Jax days. And then for some reason, I was just scrolling through and I thought, man, that is a sick orange and black and silver attire. And when I found 3 photos of it, I was like, that's everything right there. You got the MJ tattoo. Guy who, he had a great drop kick. I used to try to get my drop kick as high as I could get, as he'd get for his. But, I was like, make sure to get the silver knee pads. Black boots is perfectly fine. He didn't go as far as, I would have hoped he would have gone in WWE, but there was just so many people back then. But still a cool looking attire. It's going to pop pretty well. I'm interested to see how he does the silver, grayish shine along with the Mark Jindrak. How clean that will look. Now here's where we come into the concept of who do I go with? So you got Dr. Death, and I remember him back in his bone crunching action day where he had the red shorts with the white, wife beater tank top, and then also I had his classic Superstars figure, and I'm wondering if I should go with this one over here with the singlet with the crossbones and the Dr. Death crossbones. It's more of I think his New Japan or even indie runs, or if I should go with more of his, if I should go even earlier than that. I did see some really cool looking figures that he had already done of Dr. Death, so I haven't really commissioned this one yet because I guess I'm just waiting to get more stuff turned in first, and then I'll start working on it and choose it. He hasn't asked me which one to start working on yet, because the goal was to keep people in the queue, but also just chip away, start commission. Once I see a finished product of it, like Jerry Lynn, pay the you pay the closing costs, if you will. Problem is, I've gotten a little too eager and decided to pay off a lot of prepaid stuff. So that way, in case anything does ever happen, my money comes up short or I'm short 1 month, I don't have to worry about it because I've already got so many people lined up that are coming here no matter what. So I'm debating on which one to start with. This one, I feel like this one over here on the left, I do remember that one vaguely a lot more. This is more of his like near the end of his runs in wrestling. So I'm interested to see. Then Raven. Really, I guess the only difference is the t-shirt design, but I really kind of want to go with this Raven. I think this is his WrestleMania 17 look. It was I know Raven has lots of tattoos and whatnot. I don't feel like using the skirt because the skirt would be a nightmare to try to pose or move around. So definitely these shorts I think would be good. I've seen him do a custom of the Raven already, and so I'm really aiming for this one here. And then Maven, as you know, he's probably on YouTube doing his videos and whatnot. I used to have his green and red Trunks Maven figure. This red and black is really sick with the white accent onto it. So I definitely am going to be commissioning one of those. He's got the Oregon tattoo on his back, up here. I'm not going to do like a New Age Maven where he's got a bunch of new tats. Just go back with his wrestling attire days, because that's what I remember him from during the Ruthless Aggression era. Sean Stasiak. Now, this figure was in his repertoire. It was actually on eBay for the longest time, and I never pulled the trigger on it. I don't know why I didn't. I didn't feel like... I felt he had different attires that looked better than this. And then really, I remember he had the Planet Stasiak, and then he had the meat, and then he had Sean Stasiak with like the orange trunks, just the S and the S on the back. And then I saw the YouTube clip of him getting jobbed out by The Rock, and I thought, man, this is the attire I want to get. And I went to look for it again, and I was not there anymore. Someone did buy it. So I'm going to have him make the same one again. Obviously, I'm hoping he can maybe change the head a little bit, because it looked more Dolphish Ziggler than anything. But I think he's had other options nowadays. And I also know he likes to try out new faces when he can. So I'm definitely going to do Sean Stasiak because, again, he never got a figure. He was supposed to get one back in Titantron Live. He got replaced with Hardcore Holly. Never got a figure. And then Mark Marrow. I was going to do TKO Marrow. And then I saw these attires and I thought, how sick is that yellow and black? With the tassels. I don't know how he could do it. I know he's very creative, so I'm sure he definitely would find a challenge, or he'd find it interesting. Maybe he sculpts it on there, maybe he glues them on there. I don't know how he would do it. And then I thought, okay, well, but he won the Intercontinental title, the white one, with the red and black and white accents. So I haven't decided which one yet to go with. I feel like the black and yellow and the white is so sick looking. I guess it's more of a goldish, sparkly color to it. But I think, I don't want to make the guy upset by having to do so much complication. So if he wants to go with red and black, or red, white, and black, I think that'd be a good one too. The long hair, he could do long hair, or he could even do the shorter haircut. It's not. I'm not gonna make him have to like mold something together if he doesn't have to, because he's doing so much work for me. If it was like a one and off deal kind of thing, it's like, yeah, sure. Make it this way. But we'll talk and whatnot. Obviously, I haven't decided yet. I think he was thinking I was under the impression I was going to do TKO Marrow, but seeing the Wild Man, just so much more color and toyetic. Then finally, the last one here today is Matt Bentley. And again, that was just drawn out of the hat. I do plan to, like I said, get Senshi and Petey Williams and those figures updated to Elites at least, because they look so much better. And basically, I just want to take this attire, which obviously is action figure form already, and take this whole look and turn it into an Elite. You can even use the head if you wanted to. If you can, I know he's taken the Chris Harris head off before. If you can take this head off one of those and pop it on there, if he needs it, I can always just send him the one I have of on my shelf, because I'm basically updating all previous lines to Elites. And why am I doing that? Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. I just decided that, you've got Ultimates, you got Elites, and you got AEW figures. I haven't really seen any worthwhile custom AEW figures yet. I did see a Zack Sabre Jr., but I wasn't going to pay $190 or whatever it was that went on eBay for it. So maybe I'll update those as well. But for most of the part, I'm just trying to move them to Elite because I have so many Elites already. So why not add one-of-a-kind Elites to an Ultimate shelf and keep with the tradition. So that's it. This video's gone long enough. That's what's in the pipeline. Obviously, once these are all done, I'll probably have a whole nother set of 20 or 30 more set up. I'm going to cut back on buying and paying for entirely all of them before I see finished product. I need to wait to see finished product. Obviously, I know he's going to be good for it, but that way it's just not, he doesn't have 50 figures down the pipeline he has to do. I'm going to wait a little bit, pay back all the funds on my cards I used, and then once, all the prepays are done, I've paid off all the next ones that are partially paid, and I've started commissioning new ones. I'll probably commission about 5 more, probably starting by November. So stay tuned to the channel. More customs will be coming up very shortly. I've got a few. Like I said, I'll show you what that Mr. Perfect looks like. I've also got some on eBay. I found I'll be demonstrating or displaying or revealing who those are. Not right now, but who they are. So, and of course, any suggestions or any comments, if you want his information, let me know. I'll gladly tell you where you can find him. Until then, I'll see you next time.